Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. We Are Error Season 2, Episode 4, Marvel Phase 3, Part 1. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Error.
Can you hear me?
Oh God, it's me, Margaret. Can you hear me?
Oh, Beverly Cleary died. So sad.
Why'd you say who the fuck is Beverly Cleary?
Yeah.
Cleary.
The author of Can You Hear Me? God, it's me, Mark.
Why do you know this? Why did you read that?
Because her books are awesome.
Because he loves
It's
Beverly.
about a period.
I know, but she also wrote books for just young kids and shit about going through life.
About their menopause?
Yeah, it's
Well, for
about
one,
their
yes.
menstrual cycle.
Wait, what?
That Can You Hear Me, God? It's Margaret or whatever.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. What?
So that's why in the first Deadpool movie, whenever he's cutting off his hand, whenever he's handcuffed, and blood splatter, is like, oh, can you hear me, God? It's me, Margaret. Like,
Oh, what the? This was a kid's book?
Yeah.
it was a young teenager book, a tween book.
I read that
For
shit
little,
in third
for
grade.
girls wherever they first got their periods.
Okay, why did you read it? if
That's
it's
what
for
I
girls?
said.
Why?
That's what I fucking said.
Why'd you read that? Did you want the inside info so you could be
Our
cool with the
teacher made
girls?
us read it.
Oh, you didn't
Teacher.
use that? Man, you could have
He
used
was
that.
in New York.
Everybody
gets a period. Everybody read your period book right now.
Miss Janine, am I going to get my period?
Oh, Miss Rosencrantz.
I want everybody to get out your period book and turn to page 12. We're going to learn about how all of us take care of our periods.
But I'm bleeding now.
Just turn to page 12.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you done got your period?
Oh, no, look, you got your period.
No.
Get out the first aid. She's
Yeah.
got a period.
We need some bandages and some gauze.
Oh, just gauze up your period. It'll be fun. I literally have like a sweat rag right now.
You're like a preacher.
Take it easy. Goddamn Corey Holcomb over here.
This is for my period, just so you guys know.
You got your period towels, boys. You know what elephants use for their periods? Sheep.
Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Error podcast. This is Duck. I am here with
Jake.
and
Javi.
we have a new room set up. We have a new outlook
like
on
it.
The
life.
feng shui is phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
It really opens up the
period.
the walkways. You can get a nice period flow in there. Oh, it's to die for. You gotta have a good period pad.
Just get your period in the foyer if you don't mind.
Take out your period books, class.
So it's been 2 weeks since we got to hang out, so thank you for coming over here. I
That
appreciate it.
sucked. I'm sorry.
Well, Jake had to work. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
But the only bit of news we're going to talk about, so it's not so much movie news this week. We're going to do Star Wars news!
Star Wars news! Da, 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 da. Willy Wonka.
There you go. All right, so the only news we're really going to talk about before we kick straight into the podcast is Episode 9 trailer, The Rise of Skywalker.
Woo!
All right, we're late to the party because we didn't get the podcast, but gentlemen, what do you think of the Rise of the Skywalker?
Super excited about it.
Yeah? Did it totally redeem Episode 8?
That whole trailer is better than episode 8.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Yeah, I will agree with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what? So the opening, which mirrors almost the beginning of The Force Awakens with Rey on the planet, and they had...
The Last Jedi is... she woke up breathing also on the trailer. Well, she's wearing the gray ship, but she was on the... she's falling on
Oh
the rock.
shit, you're right. Every single trailer in this trilogy has opened with
up with-
gasping for air
Yeah.
almost. Fuck, you're right. I like
Oh my god, what a strange fucking thing. It's almost like the series is gasping for air. Wow, how ironic.
What did you see in this trailer that you like, though? For me, that epic opening and the desert...
I did
and-
like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. There's tremendous scope to the scenery and just her in it. You know, you get that long panning shot. It looks like old style movies back in the day, like great epics. So you see the TIE fighter coming at her. Fucking the sound that it's making whenever it's coming at her. Pretty fucking badass.
Who do you think's in that TIE fighter?
Hello.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, he just like gripped that. That's a bitch
that
grip.
doesn't, well...
That's a thick bitch grip right there.
So, I mean, it is an edited together thing, so that could be two completely different scenes also. So, I mean, we can assume that those are Kylo Ren's gloves on the handles there, but maybe it's one of the Knights of Ren in a completely different fucking scene in a different fucking vehicle.
So we do see the Knights of Ren later, right, in the forest? Is that what?
Yes, yeah. Whenever he's fighting them, and he does that clothesline on that motherfucker, and you see all those people fighting.
Do we think Felicity might be one of the Knights of Ren who has somehow escaped
She
that?
died.
Like from the WB, Felicity?
Yes, Felicity.
Oh, she cut her hair. They're not gonna let her in those movies. Yeah.
She's in the movie. Carrie Russell is in the movie.
For real?
Yes.
Okay.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So do we think she could possibly be one of the Knights of Ren? And I think there's a connection, a deeper connection somehow. Or like I've said before, they could go with the original Thrawn trilogy.
What if she's Poe
and she's one of
Dameron's
the
sister?
kids. Dude, that's a good fucking point, because didn't he had a twin,
Yeah.
I think, in the comic. Yeah, wait.
Yeah, but how and why would they tie that in?
Why
I
not?
don't know.
They tied in the shrubbery from the comic.
They tied in Rose and fucking Finn.
Yeah.
It's just going to be more
They
fun.
didn't show her
I
in
don't
the
know,
trailer, did
man.
they?
It's going to be hard to fucking buy back a lot of what fucking Ryan Johnson did. Like, it's just totally just took the keys of the car and fucking just drove it into the lake. And, like, paid no consequences on it either. Like, fucking J.J. Abrams had the fucking layout for all 3 episodes, you know, like an idea, an itinerary where they were supposed to be whenever it got to episode 9. And Ryan Johnson was just like, I'm just going to rewrite it and swing it, you know? And I'm just going to divert your theories every time you think that you know where it's going.
That movie was very much every time you thought it, you knew where it was going.
Yeah.
It went the opposite.
Monkey
direction.
Ridge!
Yeah. Oh shit!
You think? Monkey Ridge!
I wish you would stop doing that.
Yeah, Snoke's really important. Monkey Ridge!
Monkey Ridge. Oh, you think they can't get away, Monkey Ridge?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, Luke's really here. Monkey Ridge.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
They're
Episode
actually going to
9,
have a...
Monkey Ridge.
Yeah. They're going to have a death that actually means something that could be fulfillment at the end of the show, sacrificing your life to defeat this great power. No love! Love is what's going to win this war. Don't kill yourself trying to save millions.
Yeah, that part was confusing, because even as I'm watching, I'm like, that's a dumb fucking move. And then she hit him, and I was like, oh.
She fucked
all right.
everything up. She fucked it up!
They literally went from...
fucked it up!
He's heading towards, like, the fire, it's burning, destroy the laser.
It would have stopped. He would have gotten everybody out of there. Everybody would have escaped clearly. He would have given his life heroically. It would have been a martyr's death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have had so much clout behind it.
I still think it was a stupid move on his part, and her saving him was a dumber move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was just like... And then they didn't even fire the laser, did they?
They shot through because they had escaped through the fucking back with
Then they
the
were
crystal
fine.
foxes or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what those.
And they're all
15
like,
porgs.
they're all celebrating at the end too. Like, yeah, we retreated. We escaped. Like,
all right, the whole movie literally gets undone at the end because he's like, "What do you know about the Force?" She's like, "You can like lift rocks and shit." And at the end of the movie, what'd she do? She lifts fucking rocks.
no, not just lifting rocks.
And I'm like, well, what was this whole movie about if you told her that wasn't what it was? And then at the end, she just goes,
Yeah, what's the message here? What are you trying to send across? Oh.
It was treading water. It was a lot of
Are we
treading
talking
water.
about the fucking new one or not?
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, I
this-
got off on a tangent. This fucking
Oh, ladies and
bullshit.
gentlemen, it's mild spoiler. We've been drinking, and we're going to go on tangents and have a good time tonight.
Sweet.
Back to the trailer itself. Lando? Did we like saying Lando?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome that he was laughing in his original ship. Everybody with that meme that's been circling around, like, first it's like Han Solo, young Han Solo from Solo going, no, it was
young
Lando going, I'm going to get my ship
Lando
back.
say, I'm
And
getting
then
my ship back.
Next one is young Han going, over my dead body. And the last one was like old Lando laughing at the Millennium Falcon, just laughing his ass off.
Because he got a ship back?
Because he got a ship back.
And he's got
Over
dementia, and he's like, we're back on the ship!
The only thing would be better if he was wearing Han Solo's clothes again.
Yep.
Oh. And then he goes up to Princess Leia. He's like, I told you belong
You
amongst
should
them.
do
Get in the bed, bitch.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go.
That's how she dies. A long night of rockin' sex with Lando Calrissian.
That first time BBC, she
You old
gets it.
smuggler!
So what else about the trailer? I like the fact that you get to see C-3PO. I thought that was cool. Where the fuck is R2-D2? Is he dead?
Apparently, no Luke, no R2, I guess. They have a special bond.
Because they belong in the toy packaging together? Is that
Right.
what it is?
Well, there used to be C-3PO and R2-D2. So, like, we got that new little droid that's just a
BB-8?
wheel with a fucking... No, there's one that's a wheel with just, like, a cone head on it.
Yeah. We'll just call it Conehead Droid. Like I said, there's a weird scene in that trailer where they kind of turn
they tilt their heads.
They tilt their heads. I want to re-edit that to every sexy moment in a movie you've ever seen. Like when the
Just
girl
them,
gets out of the pool and
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, she gets out of the pool and she goes to do that. I just want to do that and have her do the thing where she's going to unclass it, and you just see the two droids go and do that to every sexy scene in a movie you've ever seen.
I swear to God, I'm going to make this prediction right now. Palpatine is going to come back and he's going to take over Rey's body.
Why would Palpatine be in this movie? Oh, by the way, Ian McDermott is back in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
So at the end, I couldn't tell if that. I thought it was Luke Hamill.
I thought it was.
That was Mark Hamill.
I thought it was Mark Hamill laughing. Also, it does sound very much like.
They
Mark
do have
Hamill.
a similar laugh.
Yeah, I think it's been confirmed that it's Palpatine, especially with him coming out at Celebration. Roll it again.
That would be an amazing distraction if they did that, but I would rather see Palpatine. I would love to see Palpatine.
Maybe
Bring him
he's
back.
just fucking haunting the fucking wrecked second Death Star.
I agree
just
with you.
hanging out.
Are
there,
there Force ghosts?
okay.
Because wasn't it the Sith that were able to create the ability for them to live forever in the Force Ghost?
I believe so.
No,
And
wasn't
Palpatine was the first one to talk about it, so why wouldn't he have the power to do it, to live on? Beyond death?
No, I thought that was like a Jedi thing.
No, we've
Because
never seen...
Qui-Gon Jinn talked to Obi-Wan.
Keep in mind, there's only ever 2 Sith at a time, okay? Plenty of Jedi running around, 2 Sith. So we've never seen the Sith Force Ghost. Is that what we're going to get in this movie? And on top of that, are we going to get a Force Ghost fight where everyone who's a Force Ghost comes back?
Oh, yeah, dude. Mace Windu.
Oh, well, he might not be dead.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't know, but we could get Obi-Wan back. We could get Yoda back. We could get Luke back as Force Ghost. Are we getting a Force Ghost fight at the end of it?
From what I've heard, Hayden Christensen's in it.
I've heard that too.
We might be getting a young Force Ghost Anakin.
They say this is going to tie together all 3 trilogies. So, and honestly, if you bring back Palpatine,
better.
If you bring back Palpatine, I'm happy with that because I love fucking Palpatine.
I don't think he's going to be a Force Ghost.
Do it.
I think he's found... Because his master was with Darth Plagueis, right? And when he said, Darth Plagueis was so strong he could create life out of midichlorians, but like he couldn't do a certain thing that would like really take it over the edge and give him all that. He goes, with that power, he eluded my master.
Save the people around him.
Right. And then I think fucking Palpatine found a way to like go over the edge, but just enough to keep his ass alive till now. Hence, because he always wanted Vader as a vessel. Like he always wanted Vader as a vessel so he could continue living and keep doing the Sith ways.
You think he was using Vader? He didn't want him as his apprentice?
No, he wanted Vader's body.
What if he was using Snoke as a vessel? Yeah. And then they got fucking killed, so he got...
No, he needs
He's
to
back
what happened,
at the
'cause,
fucking, at the Death Star wreckage.
Well, here's what I
So
think.
he's trying to entice them over so he can get a new vessel.
Yeah, well, like, because with that, you got to think about, what if Snoke was Palpatine's apprentice?
Well, he probably was.
Like, Snoke said, I just need you to go get me the body of a fucking Skywalker.
Maybe. Because technically he is the first Skywalker. Because if he created the midichlorians to create the Skywalker, Anakin, I guess he is his father in a lot of ways, so maybe that's what he needs.
And who's to say that Rey isn't his vessel that he just created but couldn't control?
There was a theory.
What about
going
a
around
resurrection
that.
of Luke Skywalker?
I would love that. Honestly, is he dead? Do we have that confirmed that he's dead?
It's not confirmed.
I want to add this real quick, too. My favorite theory was from Ralph Garman. His theory was Palpatine has been living on the forest moon of Endor by eating all the Ewoks. So he's just up in the Death Star going, oh yeah, cook it up. Delicious. Oh, I like that barbecue. Come here, Wicked. But yeah, so what if he did the same thing he did with Anakin. What if he created, you got a desert planet again. He's like, I'll try again. And he creates Rey out of nothing.
Oh, time out.
Well, also, you got to think about it like this. What if he did...
Sorry, go ahead.
What if he did create Rey, but he died in the process, and like he was like laying dormant within her this whole time, and now he's finally like trying to come to the surface.
Oh damn, Javi. Oh damn, that's good. That's good. They show up and then we're back at the place. She turns around, she's like, "You do it. No more timeout."
She turns around and is like, this is a deep doodle mouth.
Motherfuckers come up in this much. Oh shit, Hobbs, that beats so Dude, if they buy it back like that and they come around and he's like, oh, you're up in the distance, motherfucker. What are we doing here?
Fucking Jar Jar Binks is actually the big bad.
God, I hope so. And then that's when you get the droids and they do their little
George
turn.
Lucas is like, I told you, Jar Jar's the key to all this.
That would be amazing.
It's gotta be him.
Even better, they break the fourth wall and Lucas walks in.
George Lucas is the big bad. It's him and Mickey Mouse. 8.5.
Misa brought some fish. What were here.
Yeah. No, listen over here. Yeah, listen to him. We have more toys to sell.
Anything else about the trailer, though, that got you truly pumped before we move on?
The sand skiff looked like the Jabba's palace one that they escaped from. So,
Do we think it's Jakku? Do we think it's...
it's not Tatooine, I bet. That would be great if it was Tatooine.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They need to bring it
and
back.
I feel, it might be because that sand skiff, like I said, does look very familiar to the ones that they had in Tatooine and Jedi. Whenever, Jabba's land barges and shit like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they do go back to Tatooine to find a fucking relic of Luke Skywalker or something. They gotta have some MacGuffin that they're going to get to propel all this shit.
Right. So we get Tatooine, we get the Forest Moon of Endor,
Maybe
and
we get
Hoth, too.
maybe we
all
get
three.
an heir to the Hutt throne.
Do you think...
Maybe we see another, like a Jabba Jr.
A Jibba Jabba?
I would like a Jibba Jabba.
Gabagool.
His name is
Jabba
Jibba
Jabba.
Hutt.
Well, do you think that's
From
it?
the
Do you
Jabba
think,
the Hutt?
I think we said it right there. Do they travel to every planet from the original? Do we get... Is that shot Cloud City? Is that what that is? That they're going into? It looked like it was on a planet, but I've heard rumors that that's a Cloud City is what that is, and they're going...
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Well, that would explain Lando.
Exactly.
So they have to, maybe they have to go to all the spots where all these fucking events happen that Luke Skywalker was a prominent part to find some way of bringing balance to the Force or something. Maybe they, left behind you. What if they have to go get fucking Luke's hand that was cut off at Cloud City or some shit?
Well, I mean, the original theory to the beginning of The Force Awakens, and it was filmed, was Luke's hand was
gonna be
floating
falling
through space.
through
And it would
space.
disintegrate as it came
I
through.
did see a meme. And I know it was like
That
a meme
would've
with a
been
joke theory saying
fucking
that.
great.
What if Rey fucking sprouted from Luke's hand?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Or the DNA from... Or what if fucking Palpatine got
He's
Luke's
like a
hand?
salamander?
In the extended universe, they did clone.
Oh, I was going to say,
They did clone from his hand. They cloned Skywalker. They
Right.
made a bunch of them from the hand that was found in Cloud City.
Right, and I was thinking that too, because the one of the ways Palpatine could still be alive is it could be a clone, because they made many Palpatine clones.
What if the Skywalker that we saw in The Last Jedi was a clone?
Oh shit! You think they would go that far? I always
Maybe
think...
just so fucking JJ can be like, "Fuck you, Ryan." Like, I'm retconning your stupid bullshit. Like,
But I was excited to see what he would do. It's not a big deal.
Well, I'm getting paid by Kathleen Kennedy. She's standing right over my shoulder, isn't she? She's looking at me. Shit. I love Ryan Johnson. I think he's a great choice for this picture. Anything that he writes, I'll sign off on.
Ryan Johnson's going, he subverted my expectations. Yeah, clones would be cool. I always think that they won't do anything too difficult because, I mean, you got to still make these movies for the masses. And like you guys have said, the masses are asses. But at the same time, if they were willing to take it and go, you know what, we're going fucking pure sci-fi.
Well, they made everybody else take it on the fucking last one, so let's get a little bit of fan service. How about a little bit of me action?
And that's what this should be. This should be all fan service.
Why don't you just fucking do a favor and pay attention to me for loving your shit and buying all your fucking toys and making you those billions of fucking dollars, fucks.
If this movie is good, and it has to be damn good, does it buy back The Last Jedi for you, if it can make that together?
No. I mean, it's nothing's going to buy back The Last Jedi for me.
Okay.
This could be a great movie that totally excuses The Last Jedi. But in no sense am I going to be like, well, you know, watching episode 9 in hindsight, I guess episode makes a lot of sense. I guess I like it now. No. I mean, they better do some damn good storytelling if they're going to make all that shit make sense.
It was all a dream.
I think it's like, yeah, exactly. That would be the best way to fucking...
Finn wakes up and he's still in that suit and he's like, what the hell?
That would be the best way. They start over and it's fucking Finn waking up on Jakku in the fucking Stormtrooper suit from the fucking first episode 7. And then it starts again.
Boom, and it just starts over from
Yeah, it's like live, die, repeat. Or fucking Edge of Tomorrow.
Real quick, I want to ask, The Rise of Skywalker, do you guys like that title?
Yeah.
You do like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking catchy title. It's got the fucking, it fits the scheme. You got Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
Right. It definitely works into that.
Rise of Skywalker kind of leads me to believe that Luke is going to somehow, like, be fucking evil somehow.
Or, you know...
Or, like, maybe Palpatine just finally got, I got a dead body of Luke.
What if Luke, everything is parable the fucking Bible so far with the storytelling, how Anakin was born without father and everything else. What if Skywalker becomes a religion, right?
Dude, you're so right. I didn't even think about that. He rises from the dead. That's exactly what
Like something that completely surpasses Jedi?
Right, but, you know, What if Skywalker is like a group of fucking people that call themselves Skywalkers, like followers of the faith?
And I've heard that theory too. I think Kevin Smith put that theory out there. What if instead of Sith or Jedi, they become Skywalker?
Yeah.
And that's the new
Like
thing.
all one.
Yes.
Yes. That everyone's...
Holy
Yes.
It's neither.
shit.
It's
Right.
never light or dark side. It's in between.
It's the Grey Jedi.
It's exactly.
Like fucking Mace Windu and Yoda.
And that's what the... But
whole new thing.
we've talked about this also. The whole fucking key to the fucking entire series is bringing balance to the Force.
Right.
How can there be balance in the Force if both good and evil exist?
That would be amazing if that's what they went with. And at the end of it, you continue... I mean, you're not...
Either that or you eliminate all
Both
Force
sides.
users.
Like I said, my other theory could be he's a godlike creature who comes back and just says, fuck you!
Yeah.
And everyone's got to get together. And Palpatine's like, I'm on your side now. Do it.
Palpatine's out there, and then they hear the trumpets, and then the Archangel Michael with a giant sickle has got Palpatine just sliding off, and he goes, shh, and flies away.
And then Kevin Smith gets what he always wanted.
I still think at the end of this movie, Rey, Kylo Ren, they're gonna put an end to like the fucking Force.
No, man, they're going to make
all
Super
die.
Skywalker fuck babies.
I was going to say, Kylo Ren and Rey, if they're related, I mean, there's a little bit of incest, there's a little twincest, if you will, in the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do they go all the way, and then, like, afterwards they have a moment where they're like, oh, shit, we got a Joffrey now. We're
Oh,
fucked.
no, we're like our aunt and uncle.
Yeah, we totally did this.
You mean mom and dad? No, aunt and uncle. Oh my god, they're the same person.
And then Vader's ghost comes in.
Fucking Mark Hamill on the fucking cloud saying, no, that's impossible.
It flashes to every no in the history of Star Wars. I love it.
Kylo Ren technically is a Skywalker.
He's the last Skywalker.
Yeah. But
But do we know that? Do we
don't.
know he's the last?
Yeah.
he could have just been pumping rainbows up Rey's ass whenever he told her that she was nobody.
Oh, he definitely
He didn't want her to fucking realize that she had great lineage, so she's more susceptible to just join him. That's a great fucking tactic
Okay.
to throw her off.
So
That's
then-
that fucking whole stepbrother, stepsister
Why
shit.
would
Like,
Luke abandon his daughter then?
We don't know that. But at the same
I've
time,
heard theories
he
that it
can-
could be Kenobi's fucking kid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At the same time, it could have been anyone. He could have done that. It could have been Han and Leia. They could have more kids.
It could have been Luke
Just-
and Leia
all
had
they-
kids.
Yeah, exactly like we just said. There's nothing to say that I still think that there's a chance they could bring in from the Thrawn trilogy the original twins that were born to Luke and Leia.
Right.
There's no reason for them not to be in this series.
Well, it makes
And-
sense why they would get rid of Rey.
And I'm
also.
pretty sure that Kylo Ren, I think the third child's name was Ben. Anyhow, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're saying that it's not canon. That way they can choose bits and pieces from everything
does-
that
Yeah,
they
what to put
have,
in.
and they can just fucking mold it all
But does
together.
anything that they've done now actually destroy continuity from the Thrawn trilogy?
Disney.
Yeah, but other than that, has it really undone all that?
Yeah.
Has it?
They're not. They've explicitly said that all the EU.
They also
is,
said The Last Jedi was good. And
right. I got you there, but I'm saying that they said that all the EU is non-canon, and
Yeah,
they
but-
did that way. That way, they can take a little bit from every fucking piece and
But
not
has-
have to worry about upsetting the fans that are. They were like, let's just go ahead and upset them already and just say fuck all that.
But did they destroy
This-
the EC?
Yeah.
The EU?
Yes.
It's gone?
Whenever they announced that they bought Star Wars,
Right,
they're saying that the EU is no longer canon.
But once
Only
again,
the movies
have they-
and what they put out is canon.
But have they undone it with the new trilogy yet? Have they
Yes.
taken all that? Oh, okay. Well,
They've already used aspects
we've
of
had this
different parts.
conversation
Yeah, they've
already.
already taken parts from every story and added them in a lot of these in a lot of ways.
I feel like...
Changed names or just details a little bit, but
Right.
there's several things that hit on beats of certain stories. Fuck Ryan Johnson.
Okay, so we're going to get into this badass motherfucking Phase 3 right now.
Phase fucking
And
three.
we're going to start from the very beginning. Captain America. Were you doing your Shaq again?
Take it to the car. Phase 3.
All right, so the first movie in Phase 3. Should we do these in order, or should we start?
Let's do it in order.
All right.
In order, I
I
said.
thought we were gonna open up with bam, 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 bam. No, let's start in order.
Captain America: Civil War release date
Civil
May
War.
6, 2016. Director Joe and Anthony Russo. Screenplay by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely-Fries.
McFeely fries.
Political pressure mounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers lead to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference. Iron Man sharply disagrees and supports oversight. As the debate escalates, an all-out feud, Black Widow and Hawkeye must pick a side.
Wait, what was that the synopsis for? Incredibles 2?
The Incredibles 2. Budget, $250 million. Box office, $1.153 billion.
Was that the first one that people are like, oh shit, we're making billion-dollar movies now, bitches?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Iron Man 3 made $1 billion after the Avengers. Avengers was the first. Iron Man 3 hit after that. That was everything else up until then. Avengers Age of Ultron had not. And then Captain America, Apologies for Avengers Age of Ultron came out. Yeah. Which very much so is this movie.
That is exactly a written apology from Captain America.
100%. So, as a movie, as a trilogy, Captain America...
As a trilogy, Captain America's got the number one.
Fucking A. They fucking nailed it.
Doesn't have a bad movie.
Yeah,
nailed every
all
movie.
Three of his were solid all the way through.
They're like
you didn't have those stinkers where you're like, well, if it weren't for this one, we might be all right.
And had the through line through the Avengers movies, too. His character had that consistent through line.
Right. Well, I mean,
it was like, I want to die for something.
So they even, the first one was called The First Avenger. So, I mean, I like how they kept that whole fucking, you're going to see him. You're going to fucking see him in all these fucking movies.
This movie sets up, the Bucky Barnes storyline, the trilogy, was set in the first. And it interconnects, with him being brainwashed and killing Tony Stark's parents.
Allegedly.
What an amazing fucking move. He did it.
Allegedly.
He definitely did it.
I know it was on camera. His hair back.
Wow, dude.
See it?
If you did not see it, it did not happen. You must have quit. If that arm doesn't fit, you must have quit.
If Chewbacca is on the over G-Wax, you must have quit.
And Palpatine is eating them.
It does not make sense.
But no, he definitely did it. And I think one of my favorite parts of the movie...
We talking about OJ?
Oh, dude, he definitely did.
He definitely did.
Did you watch the 16-hour fucking Netflix thing?
The Netflix thing? Yeah.
Little.
I watched the fucking 3-year trial on Court TV after school.
The Bucky Barnes trilogy, like I said, the storyline that went through the 3 movies: the best friend, the complete opposite enemy, and then the redemption.
Right.
In a lot of ways, it does harken back to Star Wars, kind of like we said earlier.
Yeah.
But it works. And then that battle at the end where he's like, did you know? And he knew the whole time that he killed his parents. He never told them. That was the one thing Captain did that was, disgraceful.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those things you're like, well, that's kind of unforgivable, I think. Like, y'all are supposed to be friends. He's disclosed all of his information to... Yeah, well, he's like, well, he's my friend, so are we.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr.
You feel that emotion, too.
Yeah. He's a bit of a downer in this movie, but it works. Robert Downer Jr., because he was back on the drug.
Well, you got to think about it like this, man. Cap was in a fucking hard spot, because Bucky was his brother. I think Bucky's always going to be his brother no matter what. Tony Stark was just his friend.
Tony Stark
was just his friend.
That's fine. Just let him
Brett
go.
the Hitman Stark.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. So, yeah, like that whole emotional story arc and the taking the two sides, and it seemed weird at first, the sides they took, because you feel like it'd be inverse, but it's actually a nice character arc that the person who's always for justice in the American way, I guess that's Superman maybe as I'm saying it, but he takes the opposite side where he's like, this is a corrupt system. And I know that for a fact because I literally went up against my employers. And then the other person who's always been the outcast or has always been
the loose cannon.
The loose cannon, the punk rock motherfucker going, you know what, we need to be within this system.
It's a total flip-flop.
Yeah. It is. Because those characters you think would be on the opposite sides.
It's like the switch between Republicans and Democrats. Back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Abraham Lincoln's party was Republicans, and now it would be the Democratic Party.
Right.
It's a really great way that they do that, and their arc in that movie is great. But on top of that, you got all the side characters and the smaller B or C plots, such as the Vision and Scarlet Witch, such as the introduction of Black Panther, which moves over to his movie with his father being killed.
The reason why we're getting a Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series
Right, who's
because
gonna be
their
Captain
chemistry
America.
in it.
So good.
Yeah,
They're not
the
going
way
to be
that
Captain
they're
America.
playing off each
Who's
other.
going to be Captain then?
And those guys
It's
are
gonna
like
be Bucky.
Those guys are like best friends in real life too, and they play like they hate each other in that movie.
So, like,
Well,
this
yeah,
series
because
is just-
every interview, it's always them two together. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
and
their
they're always
chemistry's awesome.
exactly.
So this series is essentially going to be Bucky and Falcon competing on Survivor to see who's going to be the next Cap.
That would be fucking awesome. Now, I think it's going to be a Lethal Weapon buddy cop. Fucking.
Then who's going to take the mantle of Cap?
We don't know. We'll find out.
It's
at
going
the
to be
end.
Bucky.
I think it's going to be Falcon.
Are they going to bring in like somebody completely new for Cap?
No,
They're gonna
gonna be
no,
Bucky or
they
Falcon.
because what they're gonna pass the torch off.
I think Anthony Mackie is pretty fucking awesome. So I hope he kind of gets it.
I like Anthony Mackie also,
But
I think
at
Bucky's
the same
gonna
time,
get it though.
let's talk about the introduction of Spider-Man. And
That was such a
Amazing.
great.
wow,
Amazing.
So they didn't know at first if they were going to get him, and then eventually they did, and they were going to take out a lot of the Black Panther stuff because they bulked up the movie Black Panther, and then eventually they settled on fuck it, we'll keep both.
Yep.
And I think that was a wise decision to introduce two superheroes in this movie. But there's no denying Spider-Man, he steals the fucking movie.
Oh,
In
definitely.
every way, shape, and form. I did not know how Spider-Man would work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really didn't think it would work.
Why?
Boy, was I fucking wrong.
Oh,
Because I couldn't see a way to do it.
Well,
Using the
they
Batman
know
and
how
Robin
to
dynamic.
handle the fucking base characters, the foundation of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, it's clear that Kevin Feige knows and loves these fucking characters.
But they stole the dynamic from DC. There's no denying. They took the Batman and Robin dynamic to the point where he goes, what is he, your ward?
Yeah.
Infinity War. And they took that and they said, here we go. We're going to do this.
Bruce!
Exactly. He's so terrified. He would be in the exact same situation we would all would be, where we'd be like, oh, wow, this guy's pretty fucking cool. And as a surrogate father to him, it works and it builds upon that relationship that eventually grows into something bigger in Spider-Man Homecoming.
You know what threw me off on this was the trailers. The trailers didn't look that great
No.
when it first came out. And the Spider-Man eyes and shit weren't even done right in the trailers. Everybody was complaining about that shit. But the main thing that I can think of is the big face-off scene where they're fighting on the tarmac. They're all charging at each other,
Yeah.
but it's only like 6 or 7 on each side. It looked like they're like fighting in the parking lot of a Walmart. And it's like, I was like, man.
cards and the
Yeah,
jackass
I don't fucking know if this is gonna fucking work or not. But then you go and watch it, and you're like, okay, this fucking works. Ant-Man turning into Giant Man.
Fucking dope.
So you're watching it in the theater, and you're like, holy shit, this works. Because, you know, you just see that one scene in the trailer where they're just like running head on each other. Ant-Man turns into Giant Man, and everybody's like, what the shit? Even he's amazed whenever he does it.
He goes,
too.
whoa!
Yeah. And Iron Man is like, anybody else have any amazing and interesting abilities that they want to tell me about right now? Like,
And what I loved about that running up the versus splash screen that they
Yeah.
did is the people correlate with it. Like Captain America is against Iron Man, Ant-Man is against Spider-Man,
Black
Scarlet
Widow's
Witch
against
is against
Hawkeye.
yeah, exactly. So that all the people who have that connection in the movies, that's who you see going up against each other. I'm like, that's so fucking well done.
Right.
And in the battle, like I said, it's Ant-Man versus Spider-Man at the end because he takes him out like an AT-AT.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, where you at? Where you at?
yeah, where you at?
So fucking good, dude.
I do gotta say, I found Black Panther to be kind of a dick in this movie.
I think it's
I think it's justified.
So.
Yeah, I
was
feel like
killed.
it's
I was
justified, bro.
watching
His
it.
dad died.
I was like, wow, this guy's kind of an asshole. I was like, how you doing? I'm Clint. I don't think we've ever been introduced. I don't care.
I don't care.
And then he goes after with his fucking clowns.
Bro, his dad just fucking died.
Yeah,
I know, but still.
he truly did not care.
That's what
Yeah.
stands for rudeness.
Okay, so the fight between Iron Man, Winter Soldier, and Captain America in the bunker.
So good.
Okay, how fucking badass is that? But I don't know what's more of a testament of badassness. Is it Iron Man fighting off two guys that are
Bingo.
fucking super soldiers?
Right there.
Or is it two guys that are just fucking have super soldier streak? Can't beat a guy in a fucking armored suit with fucking jets and lasers
right.
and shit on
Well,
it. You know,
it just kind of shows
And
you.
what a good
in
fucking
the
fight.
scene where he's got the shield and he's going against the fucking laser blast, it's like he's going against the laser blast. It's directly taken from the Civil War comic book panel. Like that's one of the fucking shots on there. So I mean, it's really well put together.
Right. What were you gonna
Well,
say?
it just shows you just how fucking badass Tony Stark is. I mean, out of all the Avengers that kind of ran up on him,
He's
Tony
the
Stark was
only
the
one
only
who
one to
got
draw
some
fucking
on
blood.
Thanos. Yeah.
Well, how do we feel about Rhodey being taken out by the Vision on accident?
Dude, that scene
that
was...
moment.
I fucking love that scene so much.
Man, the emotion that
Yeah.
RDJ conveys in that scene also. Like, and they don't tell you either what happens to him. Did he die? Is his back broken? Like, we don't realize that his back's broken until the end. But,
Right.
You know, it just kind of showed, like, even, like, the Avengers, even though they were fractured, they still cared deeply about him. Because as soon as fucking Falcon saw him drop, he went right down along with him. And it was just like him and RDJ just kind of like...
And he shoots him. He's like, boom.
I was like, he apologized for something that he had nothing to do. He just had quicker
wrong
reflexes.
team, bro.
Yeah.
Wrong fucking team.
They raised the stakes.
Yeah.
Literally, that whole battle at the end is so much fun to watch. Everyone has a moment. There's so many small character moments where you're just like, fuck yeah, this is why I love this shit.
Yeah.
Everyone is given their due diligence, even if it's only a couple of minutes of screen time. This movie is why the Russo brothers got Infinity War, because they were able to juggle so many characters and make it work. Like, when the Avengers came out, I was like, how are they going to juggle five characters?
They
characters?
did Winter Soldier also.
Well,
which is why they got Civil War.
And Winter Soldier, like we talked about last time, was so fucking
It's one of the
good.
best of the fucking entire series.
But originally, they weren't going to do this big battle, this big Avengers, everyone together. They were going to do this smaller story. They weren't going to do the Civil War aspect of it. And eventually, they're like, fuck it, we're going to write this shit into it. We're going to make this thing huge and see how it goes. Big. And in a way, that's what got them the bigger job. Yeah. And I mean, this job was huge.
They can handle that many characters. That's a lot of stress for directors but they had
introduce two new characters
right,
on top of that.
And have compelling dialogue between them. Right. Know the characters through and through, like how they would talk and interact with one another. I know they get outside help from directors on other films, and like obviously James Gunn and Taika Waititi had a lot of input on Infinity War. But yeah, that's great that they reach out. They don't try to just hog it all to themselves, like, oh, we can do it all. Like, obviously they can, but I like that they go to the other sources. They go to the well. It's all pieces of a puzzle, and everyone's going to put that together. And on top of that, like I said, introducing two new characters and introducing a plot of a romantic relationship between Vision and Scarlet Witch, which pays off emotionally at the end of Infinity War. Yeah. There isn't a big carryover through, 7 other movies that come through. You don't see these characters again, but there's enough of a chemistry between those two that you buy the end of that movie and how big that is at the end of that fucking movie. Yep. Well, I mean, they're good storytellers. Absolutely. You look at their run on Arrested Development. Like, that's some of the best.
The Russos directed some of the episodes on Arrested Development?
They were, like, the directors of, like, the first 3 seasons, I believe.
Holy shit.
And Community.
And so this
Community?
is... Okay, so listen here. Like, the blue truck, the fucking one with the stair ramp on it, that's at the fucking fight scene in Civil War.
Holy shit.
They have a blue Tobias Funke inside the collector's vault. And, it's in the scene. You can see it on Infinity War, actually. So they throw in a lot of references to Arrested Development.
Oh, that is beautiful. I gotta go check that out.
So the last thing I want to talk about, Baron Zemo as a villain who is not a masked villain, who is not a superpower villain, a villain who uses their intellect to set the Avengers against each other and divide them. That guy was badass.
I like Daniel Bruhl also, the guy who plays him.
Yeah,
like,
he was awesome.
He's a solid actor.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him in Drive with Chris Hemsworth?
I've only ever seen him in Tarantino's movie. Okay. But he stole that fucking scene.
Yes, I saw him in Drive. He was great in it.
He was fucking awesome as Nicky Lauda. Highly suggest go watch Drive.
Ron
Howard, Chris Hemsworth, Daniel Bruhl. Go check it out.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right, let's move on to our next movie. Doctor Strange, released October 20th, 2016. Director, Scott Derrickson. Dr. Stephen Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, life changes after a car accident robs him.
Benadryl Cumberbatch. That's his name, right? Bandersnatch Cucumber.
Bender Spoon Cumberbatch.
There we go.
Life changes after a car accident robs him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He quickly learns that the enclave is at the front line of the battle against... This weird enclave was in there twice. Unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Before long, Strange is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. Sorcerer. The energy cube! That's the energy cube! Once again, I'll be drinking. Budget, 165 to 236 million. Box office, 677.7 million. How do we feel about Cumberbatch?
Love it.
Love it. It was great.
Y'all fans of that movie?
Oh my god.
I think it's mid-tier Marvel
Whoa!
for me. It's good.
I fucking
but
love it.
it's mid-tier. I think it's so-so.
I think it's because it's a superhero that you really probably didn't know much about or care about.
That's the way it was for most of the characters that they've introduced anyways. I wasn't a huge Iron Man fan. I did not read Doctor Strange whenever I was growing up.
I would say I never read Doctor Strange, but I saw him when he was with the other people.
Right.
And he always went to ethereal realms or sometimes hell.
I knew everything
like
about Doctor Strange. I had plenty of his cards. I had plenty of comics that had him in it. But I was not a Doctor Strange reader. Oh man, I gotta get that new Doctor Strange comic. He fucking stole the show as Stephen Strange.
It's good.
The plot is great. I like Mads Mikkelsen, who plays fucking Caecilius in it.
He's amazing.
He had the funniest part.
The fucking all of the interdimensional fucking shit, all the magic shit, the effects are great. It's a solid movie, and it's just entertaining as hell.
Like I said, I think it's mid-tier. I won't disagree with you. The effects are great. The overarching storyline's not bad, but it falls into the origin story tropes that a lot of these movies do for the first character fall into.
What tropes did it fall into?
It has to tell the origin story, and that's fine. And that's totally fine.
And it's an earned journey, it's kind of the hero's arc.
Visually, astounding. It works within the Marvel mold. Marvel has a very different mold than most other movies, where everything kind of looks the same, but this movie was able to take it and just twist it just a little bit. Still that imagery from Inception, the city twisting and turning. Everything looked like a kaleidoscope. That's what I liked about it. The idea of the parallel universes turning in on each other. I do like that. I like him. He's strong. The fact that you don't hate him, you don't particularly like him in the beginning because he's a dick, and the movie points that out.
And he earns his spot.
The character arc absolutely works 100%, where he goes from being
about redemption.
It's an earnest jackass to the end where he's like, I have a greater purpose in this universe, and I'm going to fulfill that purpose, regardless of the fact he fought against it the whole fucking movie.
Right.
It's not a bad movie at all, but in the scope of all the movies, 20
Is it the bald Tilda Swinton?
It's not my favorite. It's not my top 5, but it's good. Still, I love this fucking movie.
It's mid-range.
Yeah.
It's mid-range Marvel, but it works, and that character later, when he shows up in Thor Ragnarok, works even fucking better.
Oh, yeah.
I like who he is as a character now, so you have to get through the chuffa to get to what you eventually get with Doctor Strange, which works out amazingly. I am excited about
one of my favorite jokes so far was actually in Doctor Strange.
What was the joke?
It was like when he first sees Caecilius, and he's like, and who are you?
Yes.
And who are you, Mr. He was like, sir, Mr. It's Doctor. Oh, Mr. Doctor. And he goes, it's Strange. Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Yeah, exactly. That's so fucking good.
And he said it so fucking, he's like, maybe. Who am I to judge?
Who am I to judge?
Whenever the fucking cape
I love the cape.
grabs him immediately.
I love the cape.
Saves him.
The cape is the carpet from Aladdin.
Yep.
In every way, shape, and form.
The cape is
it's
fucking
the exact
great.
It's Magic Carpe.
It is Magic Carpe, dude. It's so fucking good. It literally... Everything that the carpet
it conveys
Aladdin,
emotion.
It
It's a fucking
when it wipes the tears off of them, you're just like fuck yeah. And that was a scene that they came up with during filming. They're like, we're gonna have him wipe the tears.
Bro,
like,
I actually teared up a bit at the end when he said goodbye to Christine for real. I gotta go now. And he was like, he grabs her by the face. I was like, oh my god. This movie was fantastic.
The fight scene in the astral plane.
Good.
In the fucking doctor's office where he's trying to direct her how to do the surgery and shit.
So
fucking
good.
really
so
great. That was fucking...
So good. Let's talk about Rachel McAdams. Not in the movie much, but fucking smoking
She's
hard.
gorgeous.
Oh my
god. She didn't play a hateable character because usually whenever they just throw in, they throw in a woman just to have them in there to have some sort of love interest or whatever.
Very small part of the movie.
Yeah. And
she's barely in it, but... She's gorgeous. I mean, you can't deny. And then, he jumps through the portal, which I love the sling ring portals. I think that's so good.
Yes.
But when she jumps back there and the broom falls and she does
jump.
I was like, I'm in love with you.
She was scared for real because that wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh,
they
dude.
left it in the
and that
movie.
moment, I literally paused it and started jerking off because I was like, oh, my love.
Yeah.
Mean to you.
Mean girl.
Mean to you. Oh, no, I gummed up the keyboard.
You be a mean girl.
So, you be so mean to me.
Mean girl.
I was going to say the sling ring. I think that's fucking great. The fact that they have to spook that. A lot of that stuff I think is great. Tilda Swinton,
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask.
The whitewashing of the ancient one did not bother me, but I'm white, so whatever.
It's kind of a weird double-edged sword there. Let's not seem racist by adding the ancient one in there, but let's add a white
Woman.
Woman
Really?
who's bald and like Asian looking.
That's what they got to do. If you're gonna whitewash something, put in a white woman there, and that will get everybody to shut the fuck up. Oh, do we say something?
No,
Okay,
it did
so
not get people to shut up.
Okay,
It did not.
Did you like Tilda Swinton?
She was great.
First of all, since I had no
I think she
attachment,
did, honestly, I think she did very
great.
well.
I did too. But first of all, I think a major factor reason I had no fucking dogs in the fucking Doctor Strange fight at all. So it really didn't bother me that it was Tilda Swinton as an ancient one.
Right.
If you have no connection to it, you shouldn't be outraged.
You have no expectations.
What's funny is they tried to do the inverse. They did not want to stereotype Asian tradition.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah,
they're
they-
like, well, we're not going to do that because that's a stereotype, having a long bearded Shang Tsung looking motherfucker. And then you turn around and like, well, we're going to do this. You're like, well, why did you whitewash that? It's like, you can't fucking win.
Fucking Ra's al Ghul and fucking Batman Begins.
Right. I guess they kind of did the same thing there, too, didn't
Well,
they?
yeah, well, they made Liam Neeson him, but
And
I mean,
he's
no, but I'm
Irish.
saying like,
And Welch, and she's Welch. And
even in the comics, Ra's al Ghul looks white, but I'm saying they put the bald Chinese Shang Tsung looking motherfucker in as a fill-in for him and said that he was Ra's.
Ken Watanabe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
let's
totally
get Watanabe.
They totally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, goddamn, why didn't they use him as the fucking chosen one? Or
I
the
thought
Asian
his
one is
name
what I was
was
gonna say.
Ken Wasabi.
No, it's Ken Watanabe.
Kim Watanabe.
I know you're making a joke.
I was making a racist
I know, because you are.
joke.
You're gross.
You garbage.
You buff cabbage.
Did you get your period?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the best scene in the movie. Dormammu, I have come to bargain.
Oh, no, mama.
Best
I have
fucking
come to bargain.
part in the movie. That scene makes that movie for me.
Time. Infinite
So
time,
good.
baby.
So good.
And I love
Every
the fact
time.
that he turned like this big cosmic entity deity villain, like throw a fucking temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure if he had arms, he would flip a Monopoly table.
He was also it was like fucking rage quitting.
It's like, fuck this shit. Fucking thing, I'm gonna rape your mom later.
So that's actually a Benadryl clam chowder fucking playing Dormammu also.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that scene, I tried to look it up. I was like, how many times did he die? It was over 1,000 times.
Oh, it's so fucking cool.
And the
though.
fact that he does that over and over again and
How
finds
long
a way.
was he really there?
Oh, they said like it could have been 10 years or
Yeah.
something like that. And they said that he learned in that scene his powers. He became a better sorcerer.
That's how he became the Sorcerer Supreme.
Exactly.
When he came back and he can guide the eye.
Because he kept going up in the most intense situation to
Yeah.
fight, knowing he would die.
See, that makes so much more sense now. I mean, I guess I already knew that, but like he was such a badass in Infinity War. Whenever he turned into the fucking million fucking strangers. Oh, dude, that was
That's
so
so
dope.
good.
So good. But Wong is a badass. Also, but
Wong's
like
the
Wong
shit.
is like subservient to Strange, even in Infinity War at the beginning.
The one last thing I want to talk about in this movie, we talked about it the other night. The scene before he crashes, his Lambo.
Yeah.
He's going through the different cases, and they bring up one specific case. And Javi brought
No,
up...
it's not Rhodes. I checked it out.
There's this scene where they say some person gets hurt in like some suit accident. I thought that was a link to Iron Man 2, which would make the timeline make sense.
Okay.
Because Justin Hammer, he shows video...
The guy that goes backwards?
Well, they show video of, in the meeting, the congressional meeting, Tony Stark puts on the screen, he shows Justin Hammer having people in the suits, and the suit twists around.
One of his guy gets...
Yeah, twist. I think that's what they were talking about in that scene.
Oh.
Where you brought up, you thought they might be talking about Rhodesy.
Yeah.
I don't think, if you look at the time frame of that, I think it's the Justin Hammer situation.
Their timeline's so
But,
fucked up, though.
but, in The Winter Soldier, they bring up Stephen Strange, and they say they're watching Stephen Strange. Why would they be watching Stephen Strange at that time?
Especially if he was just a doctor.
The timeline's fucked up, like Jake said.
Maybe he was evading taxes, though. Like,
Maybe.
Then why
'Cause
would S.H.I.E.L.D.
She
have-
says he was bad with money.
Yeah.
She did say that.
I mean, that might be a reason why they're
But-
watching him.
S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't
And he's
seem
good
to-
with his hands. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
their,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
maybe
doesn't
their
seem to
wives
go
needed a
after
good
the,
finger.
taxes.
Yeah.
Also, they got some one more thing about Doctor Strange. It did a scene where he was getting back up, and it was like a slow, heavy breathing scene. And I swear to God, I try to think about almost every MCU movie has this scene where like the main protagonist is getting up slowly, breathing heavy. And I thought Strange was like, I could do this all day.
Anything else about Doctor Strange, real quick?
I love you, Rachel McAdams. Marry me.
What
Yeah.
would you do
Yeah.
with all
Hey,
that? What
how-
would you do with all that?
First of all, she's
How about your
tiny.
girl?
Okay, what would you do with all that, though?
Anything she wanted.
Bro, you don't even like girls like that.
Yeah.
It's not Tuesday, so today I do.
Yeah, but I mean, regularly you don't like girls like that size.
Yeah, she's...
I always thought she was hot.
Oh!
I always
No,
thought she was
no, no,
hot.
no.
Oh!
I know you.
We thought she was hot. Oh! We thought she was hot.
has nothing to do with Rachel McAdams. What you like is The Notebook. Because I've
never seen The Notebook.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. I apologize.
What you like is the Notebook.
All right, you're right. What I like is The Notebook. It's a beautiful story.
I did see that scene with the rain.
Okay, whatever.
You know-
I cried whenever I watched it.
2 hours from now, Javi's going to be like, I saw The Notebook.
Yeah.
He's going to
I've
text
never
me.
seen it. I just know the scene where she's like in the wet shirt.
Bitch, we're going to watch The Notebook tonight. You wait
Who,
and
the
see.
old lady,
Oh.
you sick fuck?
Oh, God. You watch that gilf porn? Is that
She
what
has
you're into?
Alzheimer's.
I got off
Fucking
on June
horrible
Squibb's
person.
dropping
won't
trout
remember.
in fucking
Yeah,
Nebraska.
You're right. She won't remember.
What?
Yeah, I got a little bit of chub when June Squibb dropped trout in Nebraska.
God damn, dude. Just
Can we just leave?
yeah. What's the next movie? Wait,
All right.
Are we talking about Doctor Strange, or
we
we just
know-
talking about being strange?
We're talking about getting some really
God,
strange,
damn, getting
strange.
strange.
Oh, my God.
June
All right.
Strange.
Next movie. Dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun,
possibly
dun,
one of the
dun.
best in the entire lineup.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Release date May 5th, 2017. Director James Gunn. Screenplay James Gunn. Peter Quill and his fellow Guardians are hired by a powerful alien race. The Sovereign, the Sovereign protect
This man!
to protect their precious batteries from invaders. When it is discovered that Rocket has stolen the items they were sent to guard, the Sovereign dispatched their armada to search for vengeance. Sovereign. As the Guardians as the Guardians try to escape, the mystery of Peter's parentage is revealed. Budget $200 million. Box office $863.8 million. Did y'all see this in theaters?
Yes.
I did
Fucking
not.
first night.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude.
Fucking, what do we think of Guardians Volume 2?
So fucking good. That's easily top
notch.
5.
Top 5?
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
top tier for sure. But I think it's cool that both Guardians fall in my top 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's lightning in a bottle caught twice for
Yeah.
me. Is it as good as the first one?
Better.
Just as good, if not better.
I
love the first one.
I think the first one's better, but I think this one's really good, especially the third act. I am shocked by how good that third fucking
I'm a
act
huge
is.
Kurt Russell fan, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I said it once. I said, I'm not big on Kurt Russell, and Jake looked like he was going to strangle me. I'm not even
I'm
joking.
a huge Kurt
great.
Russell
He's
fan.
fucking great.
Yeah. And I went back
Let's talk
and
about
watched
that de-aging at the beginning of
Oh,
the movie. God
amazing.
damn, that was fucking
Amazing,
Jack
with the
Burton in
dimples
that
and
fucking,
shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the whole movie, the overarching storyline, everyone gets a little piece. The character interaction's great. The combining of the characters and their storyline.
God damn.
Baby
Yondu.
Groot. Fucking Baby Groot, dude.
Baby Groot
oh my god.
steals the show.
Baby
Yondu
Groot, you gotta
fucking
be kidding
steals the
The,
show.
the amount of heart and emotion in this movie is what really makes it top
Oh,
5
yeah.
for me.
Right.
Because I think this is the first movie that legit fucking made me cry. And it's because of the Yondu scene, and I can just feel the emotion in the scene where he first, like, Stakar, and when he was
Yeah.
playing, like, first, he was like, you betrayed me, and don't think I get any pleasure out of seeing you like this.
never fly over at your
Shit like that, and it's just like, you can tell that it really hurt him the fact that he had to exile Yondu.
Yeah. When Yondu felt really bad that he is exiled because he was doing what he thought was the right thing at the time. Right?
And he
didn't
ended up
know
finding
that.
out that it was wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, after he killed all those kids, I just couldn't take
he
him
didn't,
there.
Yeah, he didn't realize that.
Yeah, he didn't know. He was just he was bringing the kids to him.
Yeah.
And when he found out what was happening, he was like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So fucking good. And the ending, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he might have been your
He might
father.
have been, but he wasn't your daddy.
Yeah. So
God
good.
damn. Yeah, okay, so I feel like a bitch thing because I cry at a lot of Marvel movies. I get really involved in the emotions. Like, even if it's a cool scene, like something badass is happening, I still tear up.
And the cinematography, when it's just Peter Quill and Yondu just out in space.
Yes.
And that fucking
That's
pan
amazing.
out.
Yeah.
And the little
fucking
pad,
tears, man.
I'm going to tell you this, guys. It was, and I'm in a good place emotionally this week. In the last 2 weeks, I was not in a good place emotionally. It was a hard fucking watch to get through Volume 2.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, I raised a kid for 4 years
Yeah.
who I don't get to see anymore.
Right.
And as a surrogate father, this movie hit me on an emotional level where I could barely get through it. It was heart-wrenching
Yeah.
for me because I felt that for a long time because every day, and I'll just say it honestly, I put in way more work than either his mother or his father ever did.
You're
in
his
those 4
Yondu.
years. I was his Yondu, and it hurt so fucking bad watching this movie because I still feel that love for him.
I know, Bub.
And to watch this movie and go through that and go as a surrogate parent,
Yeah.
the love that you can feel for a child is unbelievable. So this movie hits me on a completely
Yeah.
different level. So I was struggling getting through it, but at the same time, there's something cathartic at the end where he realizes somebody truly loved me.
Right.
And I loved them. And I truly believe that line that he might have been your father, but he's not your daddy. There's something to that.
The fucking song that they play at the end.
Oh, Cat Stevens.
The Cat Stevens one. Holy shit.
That whole scene was just kind of like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, the colors of Okor flying over his funeral.
Right. And it was a beautiful scene.
And Kraglin just kind of like tearing up.
But okay.
So good. So good.
There's so much more in this movie, though. There's so many great parts.
Absolutely. The
about
character
this fucking
interaction.
thing.
The honesty of Drax versus the
Naivete?
Naivete?
Yeah.
Naivete.
That of Mantis, that connection where he can only speak the truth and she doesn't know what that means.
Every time he's on the fucking screen, though, he fucking kills
it.
Fucking
Every
shot,
joke
like,
hits.
Yeah, bro.
And I do love the joke at the end. He goes, "It's beautiful," and he goes, "And so are you."
Yeah.
On the inside.
On the inside.
How about Rocket Raccoon? That character building of being the complete asshole and being like, fuck you guys. But
I understand, boy, because I'm you.
yes, the Raphael of the group who wants to seem like he's the outsider and doesn't need the love, but needs that acceptance and that love more than anyone else.
Great character arc.
And I love the fact that he was like self-sabotaging and like he was essentially being the king of the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
And then Yondu just set his ass straight at the end of it.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, even it was like whenever they're going out to meet Ego, and Chris Pratt is like, "Are you trying to get everybody on this ship to hate you?"
Right.
Because it's
You're doing
working.
you're doing a damn good job. Yeah, it's working.
So good. How about Kurt Russell as the
Amazing.
The Ego, the living planet, which is so cool. You get to see his face in the clouds as they're going towards the planet.
Yeah.
And the way that they do the living planet, where he is part of the planet and he can manifest his human form. That's the only issue I have with the movie. Let me tell you guys this. The only issue I have with the movie is when he's replaying him going to different planets and finding his mates. He always looks like Kurt Russell instead of looking like a variation of that Kurt
That just goes to show that Kurt Russell is universally sexy.
Yeah, also. I mean, he's got a point also. But I think that was to highlight the funniness about him making out with all the weird-looking aliens that it shows him fucking around with as Kurt Russell also.
That was the only part where I was like, that doesn't
I thought it
make
was
sense.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I
I think
loved it, because it's like
you had the red jacket, you had the Michael Jackson jacket.
But he's showing himself to Quill as his father, and he's saying, "I went to all these planets to do this." At that point, I'm gonna defend it because
minor quibble was
Yeah.
saying that's
who's
the
to say
only part I
that
didn't like.
for like every kid that he gave that spiel to, who's to say that it didn't look like the race of that kid?
You're right, and I thought that too.
Almost every
and that's
time.
why when I understand why they're doing it from a perspective of the audience, you have to play it down for the audience a little bit and make it make sense. But at the same time, that's my minor quibble with the movie.
Right.
That's my only thing.
the soundtrack was on point once again.
Absolutely.
Whenever they actually visit Planet Ego, George Harrison's "My Sweet Lord" is playing in the fucking background.
So good.
Not just like one of my favorite ex-Beatles song, one of my favorite songs ever. And it fit it so fucking perfectly because he's a god at the time. They're showing how beautiful everything could be, and it just Drax popping the bubble and
and he's what's the line? He's like, you are a very humble person. I figured I'm humble too, or something. Let's talk about the final act. I think that final act is so fucking strong. The battle, because she says in the beginning, she's like, maybe he's your father, maybe he's not, and if he's a bad guy, we'll kill him. Yeah. And that's what they fucking do.
Right.
They just kill him. She said it. That's what they do. And I love that the whole third act. He tells him, I put the tumor in your mother because I couldn't come back. And he's like, you killed my mother? Fuck you. Just immediately start shooting him.
Out of that, what do you call it, the Infinity Vision?
Yeah.
He's just like, what?
Not even questioning it. Just start shooting them.
Right.
And that begins that third act, which is just a roller coaster fucking ride.
And
so good.
Just total homage to everything that Peter Quill grew up with, like Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, when he turns, he harnesses the power of the planet because he can, and he turns into a Pac-Man. He says that earlier because I turned into a giant Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I
do a lot of weird shit.
Yeah. The baby Groot with the fucking bomb going down to put it into the planet core. Amazing. What were you going to say?
Oh fuck. You know what? That scene also really kind of like, I guess, foreshadowing just how quick-tempered Quill is. Because as soon as you find out, like, he killed his mother, like, no questions.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what?
So, look.
And then fucking finds out Gamora got killed by that asshole.
That makes more sense than Infinity War now.
This guy, if he's got emotional attachment,
if
he's
loves
he's
somebody,
on a trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I feel less bad. Okay, now I can accept it a bit more.
He's used to everything he loves having being taken away from him, though. His mother, his fucking father that he thought was his father, fucking Gamora. Fucking, he realizes it was his father who he thought was a real father.
Yep.
So
one of my favorite lines, he's like, you got issues. He's like, of course I got issues. That's my dad! And so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that third act, like all this, everything that happens in it, just is one of the best action scenes. It could be confusing, but it's not.
Yeah.
You can track everything. You can follow every movement. All the characters have a moment where they're going to be killed. You know, Drax gets taken into the sand. Groot gets squished into the little...
poor Groot. I fucking
Oh my
hated
god,
that.
dude. That was
Did you see
amazing.
like a little tear running down his face?
How about even when the Ravagers,
fucking shit.
the mutiny itself, whenever they're jettisoning
hard
people
scene.
outside of the ship.
Yeah.
And Kraglin, he literally starts the mutiny on accident. He didn't
Yeah.
even mean to. He's just like, that's not right, Captain.
Yeah.
And he wanted to say one thing. He's
Yeah.
like, that's not true. When he said, I never treated Quill any different than the rest of you, I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, and the mutiny starts, and then all of his friends get killed, and then he has a redemption arc, and then they get this scene where Baby Groot has to go get the prototype Finn. Fucking hilarious. He keeps bringing stuff
Yeah.
back. My favorite is the desk. He's just squeaking it along.
The toe.
The toe was
Oh yeah, the toe is... I'm not even going to ask when you got that. But the Baby Groot steals that movie from the very first scene where they play that song and they're
Ding,
dancing
ding,
around.
ding, ding,
what is
ding.
that song called? I don't even know.
Electro
Mr. Blue
Electro
Sky by
Electro.
ELO.
So fucking good. I'd never heard that song until
you
this
serious?
movie. Never in my life until this movie. Love that fucking song.
Wow.
And now that whole beginning opening scene where it's a single shot following him with all the
yeah.
action in the background.
Everybody's like, hi, Groot.
Couldn't ask for fucking more, dude.
No.
And then
It was
the
amazing.
reason he doesn't dance in front of Drax is he knows Drax doesn't like dancing. Because remember, he talks about his wife.
Not
He says,
Yeah.
he goes, she didn't dance at all.
Didn't tap her foot.
Even tap her foot.
My nether regions would engorge.
I used to tell my daughter all the time.
What? It's a beautiful story. My father used to tell us the story.
Oh, by the way,
she was dead.
Vin Diesel did not use a voice shifter or anything. He did all those
Yeah.
Baby Groot's voice without any of that. That's crazy
What?
to me. Yeah.
He did the Baby Groot shit
He
without
did the
a
Baby
voice.
Groot without any voice modification at all. That was all him. He could
Just
do
like
that.
it was all him for the Iron Giant.
I find that hard to believe whenever he does the Baby Groot scream whenever he's running in after the motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. We're gonna have to fact check that.
This
did you
movie-
Snopes that? Did you Snopes that? Did you Snopes that?
Did I? Oh, yeah, I need to Snope that.
Yeah, I need a Snopes that.
I need to Snope all this
Snope
shit.
it.
This movie takes place like 4 months after the first Guardians movie, and then so there's a big time gap between this and Infinity War of like 4 or 5 years, I think it was. So this movie takes place relatively quickly after this.
Yeah.
Takes place before everything else. Other than that, I mean, this movie was fucking awesome.
Oh, it's great.
So
Top 5.
Wait. So you're saying this takes place 4 months after?
The original
first
Guardians.
movie.
Yes.
So a few years have passed before we see him in Rubber Band Man, but that also explains why they're all so cocky about, like, hey, if they don't need help, we take their ship. Yeah,
Exactly.
bingo!
All right, you guys want to take a break?
I want another shot.
All right. And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget, Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.